So now I want to introduce you to another fabulous member that's been, I should have looked it up, but it's been a long time that you've been a member, and we appreciate it. But Laura Meyers, the mortgage firm, is here with us today, and she's going to kind of talk to us about, okay, what do you do? Like you've lost your home, how do you get another mortgage in the future? What steps do you take to be successful? And just a little bit about the mortgage industry right now and some things that might be important for you to consider as you continue moving forward in your future with your family. So Laura, thank you so much for being a member. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Tell everybody who you are and a little bit about what you do and what makes what you do different.
Okay. I'm a residential mortgage loan consultant, and I've been with the mortgage firm for 3 years, but I've actually been practicing as a mortgage consultant for 19 years now,
wow,
which is hard to believe. So I started when I was 10.
Exactly.
I work solely on referral. So like Dee had mentioned, I want to do a good job for my clients, even if it may not be doing their mortgage, but advising them to get the right help that they need. So they refer their friends, their family, and their coworkers to me. So my business is solely based on referral. I get business actually from Woamtec as well, but I don't just advertise to the masses.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a little bit, because if we have members that are watching live online right now, and maybe let's take a scenario where someone lost their home, you know, either through foreclosure, either they had to sell it, maybe it wasn't a short sale, it was just a sale, but they had to get rid of it because they couldn't continue with the payments, or they foreclosed, you know, or did a deed in lieu. What steps or advice would you give them to recover, and what do they need to know about the mortgage industry today?
Well, I think the first step would be to contact a mortgage professional to see where they stand, because sometimes things aren't reported properly once they've sold a home. Sometimes people don't realize what they've even done if they didn't seek the help of a professional. They don't know the difference between a foreclosure, a deed in lieu of foreclosure. They just know they gave their house back. So I think it's important to speak to a mortgage professional to see where they stand, if there are things they need to do to reestablish credit, or there's some errors on their credit that need to be corrected, that we can go ahead and address them now so we can get them on the path to purchase a home in the future and to qualify for a mortgage.
And give us I know every scenario is different, but on an average, what would be the time frame from, okay, I lost my house in 2008, you know, how many years does it usually take to recover and rebuild if they do the things that you tell them to do?
If they do the things we told them to do and they've either short saled or had a foreclosure, it's 3 years from that time frame.
Okay, so it's not that long.
No,
it
isn't.
A short window if they're very proactive about what they want to do, and if they can recoup financially.
Correct, and actually on a VA loan it can be done in 2 years, but typically it's 3.
Okay, so somebody that has not, you know, that is just now facing the darkness of their house and their home industry and what's going on, and they aren't sure if they're going to be able to keep it. They think they may need to refinance or lower the payments, or they may need to foreclose. What do you suggest to them?
I highly recommend that they give a mortgage professional like me a call and just see where they stand. We can get in touch with a realtor, get a market analysis, get an idea of the value of their home. We can look and see what financing options are available if they wanted to refinance. Sometimes there's actually enough equity, especially now that home prices are going up, there's enough equity that we can actually consolidate their bills and pay off their bills and remortgage their home and save them quite a bit of money.
Okay, so even if they have a mortgage, and this really impressed me about you, even if they have a mortgage with, I'm just going to say Bank of America or any of the companies that are out there, they can call their lender, but by calling somebody like you may be able to look at it a little bit differently and give them more options.
Correct.
And is that a complimentary consultation that you would offer them?
It is. It's a complimentary and a confidential consultation that we provide. So we can look at the big picture. So we're going to look at their finances. We're going to look at their income, their assets, their monthly obligations, the current value of their home, and see what's going to work best for them.
Okay. And can you do this for anybody outside of the state of Florida?
I'm only licensed in the state of Florida, but I can also refer out to further, Woamtec members that are in other states and branches.
Okay. And if you don't have a mortgage person in your Woamtec chapter, we need to work with your realtor, because I know there's a realtor in every chapter of Woamtec. We need to work with your realtor to make sure that we find you one, because I think that that's really important. Having somebody that can say, okay, you got knocked down, but let's pick you up. Let's figure out how to move forward and not let this just continue to stress you out. Now, what are some ways that you can suggest somebody rebuild their credit?
Some things that they can do that are just simple. Take out a credit card. Maybe it has to be a secured credit card to help them rebuild their credit, but they can contact their bank, check into getting a secured credit card. It may be a small limit on that account, maybe $500, but just charge groceries or lunch and pay it off each month. The key is they want to keep that balance at 30% or less of the limit of the credit card. And by doing that and reestablishing good credit after all the bad things that have happened, it'll get them on track to purchase a home in the next 3 years.
Okay, that is important. You know, and something that you said that really shocked me. I just assumed that with the, you know what you get for assuming. I just assumed that the credit ratings dropped down, like that the lenders would say, oh, we hit a recession, her credit's dropped a little bit, where like the good score might have been 700 before, and now the good score is considered anybody that's 625 or something like that. I just assumed that. But you educated me and told me something a little bit different. Tell us about what is a good credit rating now and compare that to what it was 8 years ago,
as
5
far
years
as
ago.
lending goes, and with home loans, that now they require, or they think that a 720 credit score is actually a good score. So anything above 720, where 5-6 years ago it was 620. So they've actually gotten more stringent when it comes to that. But what they've done is they've done research looking at your credit score, and they look at that versus the people that have short saled their home, that have foreclosed, that have filed bankruptcy. And they're seeing people that did have higher scores in the 620s to 680s that actually did foreclose or go into bankruptcy. So the risk is higher now. So that's why they've actually increased the score requirements.
I guess it's a good thing, because you never want to get something that you really can't afford, you know, because they sell you on it. I remember just saying to Jeff once, why do we even have, you know, 401ks and mutual funds and stuff like that? Because I'm getting more money on my home every time I turn around, more than I could have ever invested. Well, that was the beginning of the problem, you know, which is really important. Is there anything else that you feel is really important for members to know about this industry now, and any changes that have happened in this industry this year?
We're still lending money, for one, because a lot of people think, oh, you can't get a mortgage anymore, or you have to put 20% down, and it's not true. We have programs where you don't have to put down a down payment at all, with VA financing, USDA financing. It's a great time for first-time home buyers to purchase their first home because rates are so low, or families that have grown that need to buy that bigger home. They can contact Dee, like she mentioned about the property management. Maybe if they own a home now, if they can't sell it now, maybe they could look at renting it out and at least having a wash on that payment and go ahead and buy that bigger home that they can afford. So we are still lending. 3.5% down for FHA, and conventional loans 5% down.
Oh, so it's a lot less than I thought it was. So that's
less.
really good to know. I know it's 20% down on a $300,000 property. That could be a little daunting.
Right, and a lot of people think that is the minimum down, but it's not true.
Okay, what is? Tell everybody. A lot of people might not know or think that automatically assume that they don't qualify for like a VA loan. What does it take? What are some of the things that they may need to consider that can just perk their interest to get them to contact you?
Well, a VA loan is for the veteran and their spouse. So you have to have served in the military active duty for 2 years in order to qualify for VA, or been in the National Reserve or National Guard for 6 years. So that's the requirements to be eligible for a VA loan. And they look at the credit and their debt to income as well, but it's a phenomenal program and no down payments required. And if they had some kind of disability when they were discharged from the VA, chances are they don't have a funding fee either. So it's a really inexpensive way to get into a home. There's no monthly mortgage insurance. So we're seeing a lot more veterans, young veterans, coming home and buying homes and getting VA financing now.
That's wonderful. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you if they want to connect with you. And again, you've got a complimentary consultation. I know you're on our Facebook page, you're on our Woamtec directory. What is your company website?
Well, my personal website is laurameyers.net. It's Meyers. And they can also give me a call at my office if they feel more comfortable doing that too. I have a lot of information on the website. But my phone number at the office, again, for a consultation would be 407-889-4321. Easy number.
Perfect. You know, I want to take a little moment and sidebar, because you just made a good comment about marketing. You said my personal website.
Yes.
And I see members that do this as a faux pas all the time, and they don't have a personal website. Tell us why you have a personal website and why you didn't say my company website.
I do. There is a company website, and I am on that, but my personal website I can change and update when I feel it's important to, and I can have links to other Woamtec members or to other people that I feel my clients have, good value to have.
I think that that's important, because so many people, so many members work for other organizations. And I'm just going to pull Mary Kay out of example. If you go to Mary Kay Cosmetics, they've got a powerful website. It's a huge website, and you can get lots of information on that website. But finding that actual consultant out of 1 million consultants around the world is really challenging and often hard to do. So I always encourage people to have a personal website, even if it's just a one-page like business card. So it's just one page that links to the main. You want to market yourself, and then that way, as you build build your audience. If you ever leave this company, you
Right.
can take your personal site with you, and people
Exactly.
still know how to find you, which is
Exactly.
really important.
And
So
I have my own direct phone number too for that reason.
That's
Yep.
awesome. Well, you're a very smart woman, and I'm so
Thank
glad to
you.
have you on the show today. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm sure that the audience gained from your experience and your knowledge. So
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Have a
Thanks
great
so
day.
much.
You know, it's so important to, really look at whatever it is that you're going through, what you do, and, what you're experiencing and who you are. Take a look at it not as a problem, but take a look at it to surround yourself with smart, intelligent people that can help you find solutions to the problem, because you're going through that for a reason. And, I believe that God has a plan for everything that you do. And if you're going through that darkness, if you're going through that tunnel, we need to look at, okay, why? Why are you experiencing this? And where is the bright side? Where is the sunshine going to come in from, and how can I get there? So you have a goal. If you don't know where you're going, there's no way to get there, and you end up just kind of living life haphazardly. And I have found that it's usually not as much fun. So how can you take a look at what you're experiencing, what's going on in your community, what's going on in your life and in your business, and try and find a way to create a plan to make a difference, to make a change, to make today count, because you're working on what you want to accomplish tomorrow.